everyone! Welcome back to my series talk, where I talk about the series that I am currently working on. This one I'm actually going to be talking about a little deeper inside of the Hunter x Slayer series, and that is for the Hunter and the Cultist. Now, I don't remember if I've talked about this before, but I'm going to talk about it now because things have changed. Well, at least a little bit. But yeah, this one I wanted to talk about a little bit more because the two characters have really kind of come into their own since I started this. Just gotta shift the tripod just a wee bit. So the Hunter and the Cultist is about the majority of the main conflict comes from a character named Gustav Markov. He is about, I think he's like 300 some odd years old vampire. He works for the Hunter's Conclave as a hunter, meaning he basically hunts down rogue vampires and breeds. Sorry. And his entire job is to eliminate breeds and eliminate rogue vampires. That is his entire job. And he is one of the best. There's a problem with that, though. The reason he's one of the best is because he takes on missions that most hunters kind of shy away from. And there's reasoning why he does that unconsciously. But overall, he's been viewed for a long time as a sarcastic, snarky, snide-ass man who has a chip on his shoulder. And ultimately, he's very unlikable to a lot of people. Only a handful of people actually are willing to be around him. Usually it's older vampires or ones who have a direct connection with him that tend to be around him, some of them not so willingly. Or they have a special connection with him as far as their shared beliefs. But that all kind of comes to a head when he is asked to take over this mission in America. Now, mind you, Gustav is one of the main hunters for the Livingston organization that is contracted with the Hunter's Conclave. Now, the Livingston family is broken up between two sisters. You have Henrietta Livingston and Christina Livingston. Henrietta handles the European branch of their company, and Christina handles the financials and the American branch. And they like to have the pond between them. But Gustav is asked by Christina to take over a mission that her and her pet vampire, Katya, cannot do, which is infiltrating inside of an Old Testament style cult inside of a place called the Willows. Inside this place, however, Gustav meets his life mate. Now, a life mate is the one person in a vampire's entire existence that is their perfect match. Someone who has everything that they need in a person. And it's also the one person that they cannot control, cannot manipulate, and cannot hurt in any way, shape, or form. They can do things that may hurt them, but they never can actually physically or emotionally harm them, or even psychologically. There's a reason why I say that, because even vampire error can cause pain between them. But his life mate is a cult member named Abel Simpson. Abel has been raised inside of this cult his entire life. He knows nothing outside of his village, but because he's been raised in it, he has now started to question his own faith, because he has found things out about leadership that make him sick. And he has not voiced these concerns because previously, when he had mentioned something was wrong, he was chastised for it. He is also hiding his own attraction to men, and that is a big no-no. Very much so, that he got in serious trouble when he was younger because of his attraction to men. So he basically just pushes that part of himself down. That is until Gustav shows up. And Abel is pulled into Gustav's mission, which is there is a possibility of a breed there is a breed that is harming people in this village and taking their energy and causing death. And Gustav basically needs to go there and eliminate it, with the help of a slayer named Cain DeAngelis. And with the help of also Abel, they end up finding this breed. But it doesn't come without a cost. And a very destructive part of Gustav's past comes rearing back and is targeting both Gustav and Abel. That is the pitch for it. It's kind of a longer pitch than what I have written down for like an elevator pitch. But ultimately, it tells you what you need to know about these two. And with these two, because I've written this so many times, I know their story front and back. Now, their personalities are ones that are still kind of not jiving sometimes, but it's a push and pull. But in this, I do want to warn people who are going to end up reading this that there is mentions of abuse, of parentification. There is lots of blood, because of course any vampire book is going to have a metric fuck ton. But there is going to be some harder things that, at least emotionally, are a little harder to deal with. Nothing graphic, nothing on page. I personally would not want to read it if there was actually on-page abuse. But Gustav's part of the story is definitely the sadder part because of what he's dealing with and the specter that comes out of the woodwork. And ultimately, he has to deal with it. Well, on Abel's half, he is dealing with not only his attraction to men and opening up to a new relationship, but also his loss of faith. Because his faith has been his anchor his entire life, and now he has to figure it out. Gustav's is ultimately the biggest part of it, but Abel's story is no slouch neither. So, in essence, you're getting two stories out of this one. You're getting Gustav's past and him learning from it, and then Abel trying to move on from his loss of faith. And I hope everyone enjoys this. I plan to do this with all the other books that I'm writing, the sci-fi and the superhero one, but I will get to that when I have written more of them, because I don't want to put out anymore until I kind of see where their stories are developing. Because I have their outlines, I have their beat sheets, but like with Abel, that could change. So, thank you all for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye!